During the process of making adjustments to an image, you'll often need to fix things. However, I caution you against making destructive image adjustments. You see, Photoshop offers the power of adjustment layers, which will allow you to perform most of the common image adjustment tasks. What's unique about an adjustment layer is that you can come back to it, simply double-clicking, and readjust the image. This flexibility is essential as soon as you start to toss clients and producers into the mix. Let's see how we can harness the power of adjustment layers to make non-destructive but essential changes to an image.
So this image employs the power of adjustment layers, and I have 4 adjustment layers that are modifying this image. The topmost adjustment layer here is applying a levels adjustment and darkening the image down selectively. The next adjustment layer is changing the color of this little starburst. And then we've made an overall adjustment to the saturation and intensity of the sign, followed by a selective color change to enhance the image. Let's go ahead and throw some of these away and we'll start back adding them in. So the first one that was added was the selective color change. We can do that by clicking on the small icon at the bottom here to create a new fill or adjustment layer, and we called up selective color. And this allows me to change the intensity of some of the colors in relation to others. So I could bring the reds up just a little bit, put a little bit of emphasis into those, and this is just to help warm the scene. Let's go over to the black area as well, and we'll play with those. Notice how we're making small changes. I'll do the same with the neutrals. We'll just put a little bit of red back into those. So that's good. I'll click OK. Next, I'd like to modify the sign. So we'll go ahead and take the polygonal lasso and make a rough selection. I'll go ahead and click. And I'm just attempting to select the sign. Let's go around this little area here. There we go. And there we go. And we'll close this back out. To have a slightly softer edge, I'll choose Select, Modify, Feather. And this will allow me to put a gradual blend on the edge of 3 pixels. Let's go ahead and add the Hue Saturation Adjustment layer, and you'll see that Photoshop automatically adds a mask to the layer based upon the selection. So we can use this to punch up the saturation of this layer, as well as make minor adjustments to the hue. And I'm going to roll that sign just a little bit redder. That works pretty well. And click OK. Next, let's go ahead and select this starburst here. I'm going to try to use a new tool in Photoshop CS3 called the Quick Selection tool, and we'll click and drag through. Now this tool works pretty well, and it attempts to detect the edges. So that worked pretty well there. Let's go ahead and choose to refine that edge just a little bit. And I can use this to adjust the radius and the contrast of the edge, making it harder or softer, as well as smooth things out. It's a little too much there. Let's go ahead and expand just a little so I get a little more of the edges. Good. And we'll soften that. That looks pretty good. Let's click OK. We'll go ahead and add another Hue Saturation Adjustment layer. And in this case, I'm just going to roll the hue of that starburst and take it to blue. That's pretty good. Take the saturation down so it's not as intense, and lighten it up just a little. That's good. Click OK. So notice we've made 3 changes already. We've made a global adjustment to the overall amounts of red in the image. We've then made an isolated adjustment to the sign to punch up its intensity, and now we've changed the color of the starburst. Now the last thing I'd like to do is draw the viewer's attention down towards this right-hand edge. And I'm going to do that by darkening down the upper parts of the image. Let's go ahead and add an adjustment layer for levels, and I'm going to take that middle gamma slider and darken the image down a bit. There we go. And click OK. Now that adjustment is applied globally, but we can go ahead and harness the layer mask here to isolate the adjustment. I'm going to choose the gradient tool and make sure that I have a black to white gradient selected. And we can go ahead and click and drag. Notice that did what I told it to do. It kept it darker in the upper corner, and it gets lighter as it goes down. Let's try that again. We'll do a shorter drag. There you go. See, the corner is darker. Longer drag, and that darkness will spread further into the image. And by using that adjustment layer, we have selectively applied the levels adjustment to only part of the image. Adjustment layers are a truly flexible way for you to adjust your images and make changes without the fear of damaging the images or committing to permanent change. This is excellent for a video workflow.